All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going live. THW Global is going live September the 9th. September the 9th, we will start viewing for pay. And so you want to make sure that all of your teammates get this particular training video. We've got some very important things that we need to cover with you so that you are in a position to earn on beginning September the 9th. All right, let's go to work here. We got a couple of emails in today, and let me go to the first one here. All right, now let me put up my whiteboard. All right, so the first thing I want us to know is we view for pay on September 9th. All right, we view for pay September 9th. All right, go on and yell and scream and all that good stuff. We start viewing for pay on September the 9th. Now, let's go and let's talk about a few things here real quickly so that we're all on the same page. All right. Now, there is going to be an initial 10 hours of what they call initiation. We're going to talk about that. That's, to me, it just makes perfect sense. We'll talk about it in just a few moments. So here's the big thing that we want to do. We want to make sure that everyone has viewed at least 10 hours between now and September the 9th. Now, they may count any viewing you've done up to this point, but just to be on the safe side, make sure that you have viewed from the time you get this video to September the 9th. Make sure you have viewed 10 hours of content. You're not going to get paid for that, and it looks like that going forward that's going to be an initiation for everyone coming aboard. Now, real quickly, why? Well, here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Most companies, when you're starting in network marketing, there's going to be some type of purchase to get started, and typically inside of that purchase is the pricing for having the website. All right, so if you're joining a nutritional company, a weight loss company, and you're getting a $199 package or a $299 package, or sometimes you're buying something for 99 bucks, but it's non-commissionable. Well, that helps the company offset things like the bandwidth and the website and the replicated sites and all those things. In our case with THW Global, we've got more than just a replicated web page. We've got the video site and that hosting. That hosting is no small piece. I use a third-party system called Wistia. So when I'm not hosting things on YouTube, for instance, I'll host more of my private content, my premium content on Wistia. Now with Wistia, I pay a monthly subscription fee, and I get so much bandwidth. But if my videos are really popular and I'm getting a lot more videos that exceed my bandwidth, then I get an additional billing, and it can be quite an investment. Let's put it like that. Okay. All right. So the first thing is everyone needs to get their 10 hours of pay in, 10 hours of viewing in. That's kind of like your sweat equity. Many of you have already been viewing. They may count what you viewed up to this point, but because I don't know if they're going to count what they viewed up to this point, I'm going to say between now and September 9th, make sure you get 10 hours in. They also talk about in your back office. When you go in your back office, you might see where it says bo.thwglobal. The reason they've got that there, they've got some type of tracking there so that ultimately you can actually send videos from the video platform. Let me see if I have this up. Okay, yeah, from the video platform. So let's say that you have watched a video. Give me a moment. I'll go here to recently added. I'll take a look at this video here. All right, right here you've got this little share video, and if you click on it, you can share it on Facebook, Twitter, you can email it, you can grab this link. This will have your ID code in it. All right, this is going to have your ID code. So if you send that out, let's say in an email, and someone watches the video, you're going to earn tokens. All right, so you're not only going to earn tokens when you view, you're going to earn tokens when others view. Now, I look forward to when we're able to add content. Of course, I'm a content creator, that I can add content, put it up on THW Global, and say, hey guys, here's a video, here's a training video, here's a value vault type video that we've just loaded. Go on and grab it and send it out to your list. Provide some value, but as you're providing value, you are getting some tokens. So that's going to be really cool when we're ready for that. Okay. All right. So now, so on 9/9/2016, earnings begin. Yay! Okay. Tokens are expected to go up in value each month that THW Global is selling in-house ads. Third-party ads pay up to $8 per 1,000 views. That's a lot of those are those banner ads. They call it CPM. I think that means cost for impression. And I can tell you that when I've done banner advertising, if I've done banner retargeting, you know, banner retargeting is kind of like when you've gone to Amazon, you looked at a product, maybe you bought it, maybe you didn't, and then you logged out of Amazon, you went to another site, and shoot, there was that product. It was right there in your face. That's banner retargeting, and that's done through a number of advertising networks, Google being the biggest, but there's a few other ones out there as well. So for instance, I know that I tend to pay at a minimum what we call what would amount to about $60, I think, is what I pay to have 1,000 views. All right, so if I'm paying $60 to the ad network that I'm using, well, Google, if Google's behind it, is getting a big part of that. So looks like THW Global, out of that like $60 that I might be spending because it's going through a third party, may only be getting $8. So obviously, it's going to be difficult for us to earn up to $25 an hour or up to $1,000 a month or what have you with the third party ads. So we've got to be patient and understand that what we're looking at building, if we go back to YouTube and we go back to 2005, February 2005, YouTube is launched. The first video only hit YouTube on April 2005. So they had been around before they even had the first video. They didn't even get incorporated until October of 2005. All right, so that was a long process. This hasn't been a long process for us. It's been the whole summer, and it seems long because we've been talking about it. We've been doing 2 webinars a week. Some of you have been viewing since we could start viewing and what have you. But what we want to do is we want to understand that our business will never pay us like a job. Now, we've got to treat it like a job early on, all right? We got to put the time in, but our business never pays us like a job. Early on in your business, you're putting more time in, more effort in, more sweat equity than you are seeing the results. All right. Obviously, here's a good example. For the 2 months that we've been promoting THW Global, we haven't made one dime with THW Global, right? And we've committed that in our email list, we were never going to send out any personal referral links. So I haven't sent out any links to other stuff or what have you. Obviously, we're going to be launching our marketing system, but we haven't made a dime. All right, but we've spent hours upon hours in cutting content, rendering content, sending out content, so on and so forth. So you've got to understand that your business is never going to pay you like a job. So early on, you're putting a lot more effort in than what you're getting out in terms of revenue. But ultimately, as you build it, all right, you're not going to put out necessarily any more time, but you're going to start making this money, and it's going to start growing, and it's going to start growing so that your business never pays you like a job. All right. So now, as the in-house ads start rolling in, then they can get paid up to $50. All right, for 1,000 views. So right now I'm paying about $60 for 1,000 views. All right. If I wanted to do, let's say that with THW Global, instead of them having to be, you know, they're going through a middleman that's taking most of that right now with the third party ads, that's going to be, you know, THW Global's money. Of course, that's where we're going to get paid from that and what have you. So there's a big difference. So each month they say third party ads will be less and less, and THW Global ads will be more and more. And one thing I just want to say, and of course, I did a very big critique on our Sunday webinar where I said, you know, come on, dudes and dudettes, come on and do a freaking live webinar. And, you know, I was frustrated, like many of you were frustrated, particularly because, excuse me, we had this terminology that came into play without much of an explanation. We had to kind of figure it out. But, you know, when you take a look at it, all right, let's just take a look at it. There's got somewhere, I don't know who the folks are behind this thing, but there's some big money behind this thing, guys. I mean, the fact that we've been viewing videos for quite some time now, and maybe they've generated some revenue, and good for them on advertising up to this point. You know, I hope they have. This is no small feat. This is no small task. So my critique aside, and that critique still stands, my critique aside, I'm impressed by what I'm seeing. I'm impressed by what I'm seeing. Okay. They say we're still in the non-paying beta tests till 9/9. However, this is a good time to get your initiation of 10 hours in. So everybody needs to get their 10 hours in. If you don't get your 10 hours in, you're not in a position to make money, okay? So make sure that you get your 10 hours in. They say if you are getting an error message when you try to watch videos, that is because your country is not turned on yet. However, you can still review all the offers in your back office and around the videos for your 10-hour initiation. Now, I've not tested that yet. Give me a moment. I want to see something. All right, so I haven't had the time to test that. I wanted to make this video as soon as I possibly can. Probably by our next webinar, we'll get a chance to test that to see if just clicking on an ad, if that's showing. I don't know if that is showing just yet. Okay. All right. So make sure you get your 10 hours in. All right, they go on to say you must have 10 hours on viewing or clicking on ads prior to activating pay. I do not have a problem with that whatsoever because, again, I understand that it costs a lot of money to do what they're doing, and obviously there is the potential to become a paid certified IV, but we've not recommended that yet. We've not promoted that to any of our folks. Now, though some of you may do it, that's not something that we've said, hey, go and do. All right, as a free IV, you can earn up to $1,000 a month from your personal effort. Don't expect anybody to make $1,000 out of the gate. I think that's going to be a patience process, but every month we should see we're earning a little more, a little more, a little more from the same effort up to that amount. Maximum of $10,000 a month. We had the question on our last webinar what my feeling was about that. I got no problem with that. Listen, if you've got an organization where you're starting to make $1,000, $2,000 a month, why wouldn't you go on and upgrade? But what are we always saying? We're always saying reinvest back into your business. All right. So if you're not comfortable doing the certification right now, you don't either have the resources or you're not ready to part with the resources right now. I get that. I have not recommended that anyone do that, right? But if all of a sudden you're now seeing, especially if you've got a team, and you're saying, man, I'm starting to make some money here, all right, don't wait till you get to 10,000. Don't wait till you get to 10,000. You know, if you've made the money, reinvest it back in your business. That's when we say you invest back in the tools and the resources and the traffic. Well, I would consider this a resource because this is going to allow you to sell advertising. It's also going to allow you to generate some additional revenue as people on your team become certified IVs. All right. I love this. I love this. Free IVs need a minimum of 5 hours surfing weekly to be commission qualified. I love that. You got to get your 10 hours initiation in, right? Beyond that, as a free IV, you need 5 hours a week. Why do I love that? Okay, build a team. You've got 1,000 folks on your team right now. In order for those 1,000 folks to earn, let's say they're all free. Nobody's a certified IV just yet. You got 1,000 folks on your team. For everybody on your team to earn, they've got to do 5 hours. There's 5,000 hours minimum right there for all of those that want to earn. This is going to increase the overall viewership. So now, if you've been concerned about, well, you know, early on with the tokens and the points, you know, are we going to make the up to 25, up to 5, up to $1 an hour? All right. Well, maybe we don't make up to $1 an hour right now in the organization. All right. Maybe we don't make up to a dollar an hour right now in the organization. Maybe it's, I don't know what the number is, 30 cents an hour. Maybe it's 4. I don't know. But if the number of hours, average hours have increased, the bottom line may still be the same. And so I love this. I love this. I love this. Now, most of us have already raised our right hand and said, hey, 10 hours a week. That's what I'm pledging. I'm pledging 10 hours a week. I'm pledging 10 hours a week. But not everybody had made that pledge. And so now, if a person wants to make money by watching videos and surfing and all that other good stuff, or searching or what have you, well, they need to do at least 5 hours. At least 5 hours. That's huge for us, okay? That's huge. That's huge. Now, if you become a paid certified IV, there's no maximum income limits. You can sell ads. You don't even have to do the initiation, and your weekly surfing is 100% waived. So there's going to be a lot of people in town that's going to become a certified IV, and I'm sure in time I'll be recommending that. I'm sure in time I'll be shouting that from the rooftops. I'm just not ready to do that just yet. Either way, even if you become a certified IV today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months from now, 10 years from now, okay, I still want you committing to the 10-hour pledge, because that now becomes your marketing seed. That now becomes your marketing seed, okay? All right. Let's go to the next email that we had. Guys, I'm pumped up. I got to be honest with you. Like so many of you, when we got the compensation plan on Thursday, and we were honest. We told you this on Sunday. Queen and I, we're like, what the heck? What? Huh? You know, but man, after seeing this, man, it's on. It's on. Okay, remember helpful hints. You don't have to buy anything, but this just goes on to talk about what we just shared. If you are a free IV, you need 5 hours a week. Everybody needs to do the 10-hour initiation, 5 hours a week thereafter to be qualified for pay. That shouldn't be an issue for our following, because whether you're certified or not, I want you committing to the 10-hour pledge. This talks about sharing. What we already just discussed, that when you share a video and someone clicks on it and they watch it, you are going to earn tokens. I like this one here because this really helps us to understand. Excuse me for coughing in your ear. They say our time and effort will become more valuable in the months ahead, 3 to 6 months from now, than they are today. Remember, THW Global is a new kid on the block. And the more in-house ads that THW Global sells, the higher the per view earnings goes up. Example, third-party sellers pay $6 to $8 for 1,000 impressions, and that's very difficult to earn up to $1,000 as promoted. However, when THW Global has in-house sales, it's more like THW Global being able to, THW Global getting paid $50 to as much as $500. Now that would probably be for like those commercials, you know, those maybe 1 minute commercials that we see. That would probably be the higher amount for 1,000 impressions, whereas the $50 might be for, let's say, like a banner ad, okay? And they talk about, you know, that's a big difference. Obviously that is. Within 6 months, they say third-party ads will become less and less, and THW Global ads will become more and more. Now this is where I want us to have some vision. And that's why we did the webinar that we did on Tuesday night. It was a little bit different webinar, and we went back and we looked at YouTube. And you know, if you had seen YouTube in February 2005, there's no way you would have thought that 11 years later they would be a $104 billion brand. But that's what they're saying that YouTube is now worth. I never would have thought that YouTube would have been generating $10 billion a year in revenue and getting 5 billion video views a day. By the way, that 10-hour initiation, you know, what that also does is that really increases the number of videos that are going to be viewed. That's going to help THW Global in terms of being able to sell advertising, because what that's going to mean is that the average, you know, when you look at Alexa, one of the things when you go to Alexa, that you look at is not only the number of views that people are getting, but how long are people spending on the site. We noted that with YouTube from mobile, the average session that a person spends on YouTube in a login session is 40 minutes. Well, that's one of the reasons why they're able to sell so much in advertising, because they're able to go back to their advertisers and say, look, you know, our people are going to see your content because they spend this much time on the site, okay? All right, so just know, don't expect the up to 25, up to 5, up to 1 coming out of the gate. And I know the company's not using that language, but the reality is they're really kind of saying the same thing, up to $1,000 monthly. Well, if you do the math on that, that winds up being, you know, still the up to 25 with the 10-hour cap that we have there, okay? Don't expect that out of the gate. Now, and obviously in certain parts of the world, that wasn't going to be the case anyway because of the currency conversion, the difference between, let's say, a US dollar and, you know, a peso is radically different, okay? But the point is that each month, we should start to see that a token, a point, you know, that a token is worth more. And of course, the more tokens we get, the more points we generate, the more points we generate, the more we can convert that into cash. All right, 10-hour initiation viewing. Why is that? They go on to talk about, you know, most companies charge anywhere from $30 a month to $300 a year. They may not do it that way. A lot of companies charge that internally in your purchase of a package or whatever you're purchasing. What THW Global did is they wanted millions of people to start off free, so that this 10 hours of, they say non-pay. I'm not going to refer to it as that, probably. You know, this initiation is really just a little sweat equity. All right, 10 hours of sweat equity, and that way you didn't have to come up with any money out of pocket to have this website, replicated website, so on and so forth. Okay, so just look at that as sweat equity. I would look at it as 10 hours from today until September the 9th, okay? And then they go on to talk about the difference between a free IV. Again, you can earn up to $1,000, $10,000 through your 10-level team. Your $10,000 represents your 10-level team, and then ultimately the dual team. The dual team hasn't been released just yet. Well before they release the dual team, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you will know, is it crap or is it gold? All right, and if it's gold, make the investment at that time. I'm not telling you to do it right now. I'm not telling you to do it right now. I'm not prepared to stand on the rooftops and say do it right now. When I'm prepared to do it on the rooftops, you'll know, okay? And until such time that you do that, you got the minimum 5 hours, but you should have committed to the 10-hour pledge anyway. Certified IVs. Now, this is what I'm going to say to those of you that are going to get certified. Even though your minimum weekly is waived, do the 10 hours. All right? Lead by example. Do the 10 hours. Reinvest that 10 hours back into the, or portion of that 10 hours, if not all the 10 hours, whatever you make, 50% to 100% back into the tools, resources, and the traffic. Okay? If you want to become an certified IV, this tells you log into your back office, click on income opportunity. Click next on certified IV opportunities. It will open up to an overview. Read it. Then click on get certified now in the bottom left-hand corner. That is not me telling you to go and get certified. That's just telling you how to get certified. You're big boys and you are big girls. So September the 9th, ladies and gentlemen, September the 9th. Make sure that you are on our Thursday night webinar where we're going to talk about RAS. We're going to talk about, you like that little acronym, RAS there? The reverse advertising system. I spoke with my mentor and chief architect today, and we certainly expect sometime next week. We've got, he did have his guys doing some testing, so they're going to do a couple days worth of testing. We've had to modify some language just a little bit, and we'll talk more about that on the webinar. September 9th, get that out to everyone. September 9th, get your viewing in, get your 10 hours in. September 9th, congratulations. We'll see you on our next webinar. Hey family, I wanted to come back with this quick addendum, and this is my conjecture, okay? I have not gotten this from THW Global, so if I'm wrong on this, I'll be the first one to say, hey, I was wrong. But this is my conjecture. You know, up to this point, we had been reading that you had to have 50,000 registered folks, not just registered, but had filled out the survey in your respective areas. So I really thought that once we got to the end of soft launch, which is going to be like that September the 9th, that we were going to see maybe the US, maybe the Philippines, maybe Russia, because those were the last 3 countries that we saw the big numbers of registrants. But it looks like there are a number of countries, I think it's 70 countries right now, that are actually viewing and viewing top tier ads. So I'm thinking, this is me talking, I'm thinking that September 9th is going to be open for as many as 70 different countries. So if that is the case, that means that people that weren't necessarily going to be viewing anytime soon necessarily because they didn't have the numbers may be viewing. So I have that message in. I asked that question. I haven't gotten a response just yet, but I'm thinking that if your country is turned on, that probably means that you're going to be able to view for pay also, even though you might be in Belize that only has 300,000 folks in the entire country. All right, or Dominica, which is a small country in terms of population or what have you. That's and if I'm right on that, all right, if I'm right on that, that's a huge takeaway. I mean, when I say takeaway, they didn't take anything away from you. I mean, I want you to take away just how big that could be, that you may be viewing and getting paid to view, even though you may not have the numbers in your country. So, you know, if that's the case, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Hope you enjoyed your mental vacation break. I wanted to give you that addendum. We love each and every one of you. We'll see you on our next webinar.